We got our best indication yet that Caitlin Clark is on her way back toward a return for the Indiana Fever. That's because she was seen participating in shoot-around before the Minnesota Lynx game is out, and that when you see her participating in practice, you will know she's on the way back. Well, participating in shoot-around is a precursor to returning in practice. Now, that doesn't mean she's playing. She's still out for that game, and she hasn't returned to full practice yet, but she is back on the court with her teammates. This coming on the heels of Stephanie White saying she hopes that Clark would return to the lineup before the regular season.
What if I told you the Indiana Fever's latest roster move wasn't just about clearing space, but could be the first domino in Caitlin Clark's long-awaited return? Fans saw Kira Lambert waved, and instantly the speculation exploded.
And since the news about the ankle injury, things got a little bit more clear to me because I was under the assumption Clark was getting toward this process before. And now it appears she's back in this process again. You know, so you see Caitlin Clark, this video captured by Chloe Peterson at shoot around. You can see Caitlin doing some work right there, just, warm-up work, back and forth on the court after what was a bit of a setback. I mean, Stephanie White even said certainly her progress slowed a little bit due to the ankle injury. But progress has just picked up, and that is as positive news that the Fever have gotten in a long, long time.
This isn't business as usual. Could the Fever really be signaling that their rookie superstar is ready to come back from her groin injury just as playoff urgency hits? Let's break down the hidden meaning behind this decision and why it might be the moment the entire league has been waiting for. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
But nonetheless, on a basketball court. It's been a long time since we've seen Caitlin Clark on a basketball court. Certainly a long time since we've seen Caitlin Clark play basketball. Even handling the ball, working with her teammates. I mean, that's an important sign there to see her working with her teammates, being reintegrated with the teammates. Because if you look at the Fever injury list, it's just wild to see. Then there was a little bit more footage here, and you see Caitlin involved on the floor yet again.
Imagine this. Fans wake up, roll over, check their phones, and see Kira Lambert's name pop up on the waiver wire. Instantly, the comment sections explode. The first question isn't about Lambert herself. It's, does this mean Caitlin Clark is coming back? That's how much anticipation has been building. Nobody sees a Fever roster move anymore without thinking about Clark. So when news like this drops, it doesn't feel like a small shuffle. It feels like a signal.
Star Wars scroll at the end of one of those movies. It's just a endless list of players who have been out, back out of the lineup again, and really just a lineup that you could build. Odyssey Sims, probable. So she had the injury. By the way, she signed another contract, so Odyssey Sims will stay with the team. She can not sign another 7-day hardship contract, so a decision will be made on her within a week. If you were the Indiana Fever, you could roll out there if you were experimenting, depending on the situation and the nature of the game. I mean, here's the injury list that the Fever released.
Here's why it hit differently. Lambert was on a hardship contract. Normally, these are temporary deals used when a team is dealing with multiple injuries. You bring in someone who can help fill the gap until things stabilize. But this move didn't line up with the usual timing. It came when Indiana's playoff chances were slipping, and every single game began to carry extra weight. If the team was willing to let Lambert go, it suggested they had someone else in mind for that spot, and fans immediately connected the dots to Clark. Now, there's always the possibility that this was just coincidence.
It also depends who's still out, who's back, and all those things. Because, Shea Petty was brought in as well. Chloe Bibby is still out. Caitlin Clark obviously still out. And we know Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham, and Ari McDonald.
Maybe the front office had other plans. Maybe there were quiet agreements we don't see. But when the Fever are fighting for a playoff push and their most popular player is in recovery, it doesn't feel like a random detail. If you were following online that day, you saw the two sides form almost instantly. One side said, "This is it, she's about to suit up." The other warned, "Don't get ahead of yourselves. It could just be roster management." Both sides had a case, but the timing alone made it hard to accept the simple explanation. And just as the debate started cooling down, insiders fueled it even more. Journalists like Scott Agnes chimed in with comments about Clark being just weeks away, but never gave anything concrete. No dates, no definite updates. That vagueness made things worse. Instead of putting the speculation to rest, it multiplied. Suddenly, fans started rewatching practice clips, listening to podcasts, pinning entire theories on halftime sightings and courtside whispers. If you think I'm exaggerating, go look at what's happening on social media. People analyze every short video the Fever posts, slowing down the frames to see who's jogging, who's shooting, who's smiling. Mascot tweets, yes, even those are getting turned into evidence that Clark's return is closer than expected. At this point, it's not even a storyline. It's a scavenger hunt run by the entire fan base. The best way to describe it is this. It doesn't feel like sports reporting anymore. It feels like a movie trailer. You know when a big blockbuster teases the main star at the end of the preview with a shadowy shot or a quick line of dialogue? That's the energy around the Fever right now. Every minor move feels like a teaser. Every official update feels like a carefully timed teaser drop. The directors of this film just happen to be the Fever front office, but they're not just playing with plot lines. They're balancing a real risk here. Clark's injury isn't something you rush back from casually. A groin strain can flare up again if you don't give it proper time. On one hand, if she suits up now, the Fever instantly get their leader, their floor general, back on the court when wins matter most. On the other hand, if they push too fast, it could jeopardize not only this season, but maybe her long-term health. That's the razor's edge the team is standing on. The playoff picture only makes that balance harder. Indiana is in striking distance but not secure. Every game matters. Every win or loss swings their position. If Clark comes back even at 80%, suddenly the Fever have a chance that didn't seem realistic without her. Sponsors know this. Fans know this. The league knows this. The marketing storm around her absence has created huge pressure, and Indiana can't ignore how much momentum changes the second her name is back in the lineup. So when Lambert was waived, it wasn't just about a hardship contract ending. It was a message, whether intentional or not. It suggested the team believes Clark is close, maybe closer than what's officially being said. A quiet paperwork move transformed into the loudest hint yet, and that sets up the biggest question moving forward. Not whether she'll play, but whether she can return fully healthy from such a tricky injury. The Fever's announcement isn't only about getting Caitlin Clark back on the floor, it's about shifting the entire spotlight of the league. When your top draw is sidelined, the energy dips. The moment she's cleared, the whole conversation changes in an instant. That's the power she carries. But here's the real debate. Is this about squeezing into the playoffs, or is it about protecting the future of someone who's already carrying the league's brand? That's the gamble Indiana's making. Because however this comeback plays out, it won't just decide their season, it could shape the league's direction.